Hello everybody, welcome to Catherine Sews. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've recently become obsessed with a certain TikTok video, such a cute little video of a couple singing a Taylor Swift song, but what I became obsessed with was the little jean skort that the girl is wearing. It's so adorable. And I just started thinking, okay, I have to make that. How am I going to make that? So I searched around in every thrift store. I searched for a button fly jean that was too big for me because I have these jeans that I can cut up to be shorts. I'm just not really feeling these jeans anymore with the cropped wide leg. They're kind of cute, but I think this is going to be cuter. So I was searching and searching for a pair of jeans that were too big for me and just not really coming up with anything that was going to really work to kind of wrap from my side seam and cross over the center front with that button fly. I just couldn't find anything until I found a skirt, a jean skirt with the button fly. It's just the right size to go from my side seam and cross over the center front. So that was really the key. This skirt was $5 in the clearance pile. This is the side I want to use with the button holes on it. Unfortunately, it's got this hole in that pocket area, which I'm not in love with that. That's not the vibe I'm going for. I'm gonna have to do something to this area to patch that or replace that piece of fabric or something. The only other thing I need is bachelor buttons. So I was in downtown Vancouver at Dress Sew and found bachelor buttons, packages of them for 25 cents. What can you buy for 25 cents these days? So I was pretty thrilled with that. I call them bachelor buttons. These ones are called jean buttons. You just kind of hammer them on. In this video, that girl is adorable. And you know, I know that she's half my age, so I will not be making my skirt as short as hers, even though I think she looks dynamite. I'll make it in a length that I'm comfortable wearing. But in my head, I'm gonna look just like her. So with my little piece of soap, I just marked the length that I wanted the shorts to be on the front and on the back. And now I can take them to the cutting table. So I've got my jeans folded with the side seam running down the middle. And I don't know if you can see, but my soap line comes down here and then goes up. So when I drew it on myself, I drew it definitely shorter at the front, longer at the back. I'm going to play it safe by cutting it a little bit longer, and I can always trim it up later. Okay, no turning back now. If this was jeans, I'd have all of this extension to deal with. And with the skirt, it's just exactly what I need already. Yeah, maybe I'll cut about 1 inch away from that center front edge and then into the fly. Then I'll be able to just turn a little hem here for my front edge. It's really bulky in here. I might have to try to get rid of this part of the fly extension. And then this edge, I will be sewing to the side seam of my jeans. I think I'll start by just cutting a little seam allowance width away. And then if I have to open up this seam, I will, but hopefully I don't have to. I already have one regret. I wish I had cut the waistband bigger because I just wish it would come a little further across my center front. The skirt part would stretch if I had left a little bit more waistband. So I'm already kicking myself a smidge. That's what happens when you get too obsessed with a TikTok video and you just jump right in. The rest of this whole skirt will definitely get used either by me or my students in some kind of creative project. That's the only part I need, but I do want to deal with this. If I just take that coin pocket and put it over here, will that be funny? That might be all right. I'm going to try that. I will remove the stitches from here, play with it over there, and see if it looks funny to have 2 coin pockets. If it does look funny, then I'll duplicate this whole area and replace that whole section, but the pocket would be easier. So I opened up the whole side seam of the shorts, but then I pinned it back together just so I could put them back on to do some fitting. But this seam is open, and even that little bit of the waist, because I'm going to have to be putting the skirt panel into that seam. Okay, so that's ready. And then the skirt panel, remember I just cut it there, but I did end up opening that whole seam up. From the other side of the skirt, I did remove the coin pocket. And so I think I will just tuck that in there. It will end up having 2 coin pockets, but That's fine. I'd rather have that, I think, than the hole. But this is going to have to stretch quite a bit to come across the front. So I'll have it stretched out when I pin it on. Oh, and can you see that even though I removed those stitches, their top stitching thread is still there, and I'm leaving it. I could easily pull it out, but I'm going to leave it because my thread is thinner, and I'll use a matching color, but I'm going to sew right on top of their thread, and it'll blend in nicely. Okay, and then here, I removed that bit of the fly. If I open it up to remove this, and then just stitch it down again. So to open up a big heavy stitch like that, I just put the red ball of my seam ripper down and just slide it along. This one is double stitched. It's not a chain stitch. If it was a chain stitch, it would be even easier. So with this matching thread, I'm still just going to sew on those 2 lines and sew the coin purse in. This piece can still stretch, and now I'm going to sew on those double lines. I'll go right across the bottom. And then back down. Okay, so that worked out fine. I'm still just going to sew on those 2 lines. I just feel that stitching over the original stitches, it just makes it look a bit more substantial than my thin thread. So the shorts part is prepared, the skirt part is prepared. I'm ready to put that seam into the short seam. At least I'm almost ready, but I'm just trying to figure out how this waistband is going to be enclosing this top edge. That gets sewn into the seam, and this has to come out on top. So I think this waistband was originally about like that. I'm going to budge this over even a little bit more so that the seam allowance is sticking out past the cut of my waistband. So that allows this to stretch a bit more. For it to look good, it has to really stretch across to be flat in the front. If it's loose, it just doesn't look that flattering. So I really want this part to have to stretch across. Now I am going to have a little bit of a messy join here from this waistband to that one. I think I'll just move that belt loop over to cover it. And I think I'll get rid of this belt loop entirely. So you see all this extra in the waist? That can just stretch into place. And again, I'm just going to leave the original stitching in there just to bulk it up as much as I can. I can see why some people might not like that. You might find it neater to take that stitching out first, and that's fine, whatever you prefer. So I'll take off that belt loop. These are thick bar tacks that are holding on the belt loops. So I just try to go inside or wherever I'm not worried so much about damaging the fabric. And I just try to cut as many stitches as I can from the inside. And I guess I'm not worried about damaging the belt loop. And I can even go in between the layers. That's how strong these are. Like I can cut almost all the stitches and it's still holding on. So I'll sew across there and then I'm going to try it all on. The stitch length that I'm using is 3.5 millimeters long. So now I need to stretch it as I sew. Okay, so I think we're getting somewhere. I think this is going to be good. So the shorts are just on like normal. This seam is just pinned closed and I've got the top of this seam pinned in. I didn't want to pin the whole way yet because I wasn't sure if I'll be using the whole thing or if I'll be pulling some back. So I just want to start here at the front and pull this across, and this button goes below the waistband, snugly across. Not the easiest. And then I kind of like it if this is a bit more straight up and down, that it looks like a skirt at the front. It doesn't look like shorts. But then I like how hers came down a bit at the front. Like the wrap part was longer than the shorts. So kind of like that, right? I think that's going to be cute. So I'm going to mark where I want the buttons to go. I'm using my friction erasable marker, but you could also just use a pencil. So I'll just sew right down this side seam with the skirt part tucked into the seam. And this is a lot of layers of denim, but my machine seems to be okay. I don't even have a denim needle in, just a regular needle, and it seems okay so far. Oh, I do love my sewing machine. This is a Babylock Sofia too, and it just seems to work on everything. Looking super cute. And if this all works, then this is a pretty quick project. So now, that's where I wanted the bottom of the skirt flap to be. So I'm just going to draw a line from that point up to where the shorts are at the side seam and cut right there. Oh, I think I'm loving this. Oh, that is going to be cute. Okay, I'm going to take off that belt loop. I have an extra belt loop. I could just put a second. Well, should I just do that? Just have a second belt loop, or would that look funny? Yeah, I'm going to play around with having two. Okay, so what I will do is just stitch on top of there and then hide that with the belt loop and then sew back the one I just halfway unpicked, I think. I won't sew that back on until I've decided if it's funny to have two or not. On this little messy join here, I'm just going to sew close to the edge there, and then I have a better idea about that belt loop. Because it's a raw edge there, I think I'll use a zigzag stitch. And I'm going to use a big one, like 3.5 by 3.5 millimeters. And right over that raw edge. Maybe a little bit more just to make sure that is secure. Okay, not pretty, but it's secure. And then I can trim away some of these yucky threads. Now, this belt loop that I unpicked and then decided that I didn't need to, I'm actually glad that I did, because when it's on and this waistband is stretching toward the front so much, it actually looked like it was crooked when I put it back to where it started off. So I'm setting it back a bit so that it actually looks straight when I have it on. Oh, and I've got this little gap here to fix too. So this is pretty thick. Good machine. Straight stitch to close up this little gap. To cover up this yucky bit, I've got that belt loop still, but instead of sewing it on as a belt loop, I'm actually going to sew it on flat so that it works to cover that area up. Okay, so see how I've kind of tucked in the end of the belt loop there? And I think it's a bit funny, but sometimes with upcycling, you have to do things a bit differently. Okay, so that belt loop just kind of curved along and covered up all the messy stuff. So that's where I'll be putting the bachelor buttons, but I don't want to put them just through thin fabric. So I'm going to just put a strip of denim in behind to just give that some extra support. I think that those bachelor buttons could just like rip right through. So I'm just double checking my dots against the actual buttonholes when it's not on, and then sticking a pin through each of those dots so that on the back I can see where my little strip has to go. I'll just mark those pins. So now my little strip of denim, I'll just put over those dots. I'm going to want a denim blue thread in the bobbin because I'll sew around this rectangle and I want that stitch line to just blend in as much as possible. So I'll sew around and I'll sew right down the middle so it's really strong where I'll be putting the bachelor buttons through. So now I'm just sewing right down the middle of that reinforcement piece. And then I'm just sewing right down where that top stitch on the side was. So that stitch line is replaced, and now let's just do the buttons. My 25-cent package of buttons. Bachelor buttons come with this little nail piece and the button piece. Now, they do click together. Once they're clicked together, they are together for life. So I'm going to start by just poking a hole with my seam ripper, right where I want that button to be. If you have an awl, AWL, that's a great little tool to have right now because it just is a sharp, sharp point to make a hole in your fabric. I'll just use scissors. Now, don't push. right? Very bad things can happen if you push. You just want to wiggle. So then the nail goes up from the back. Once the nail's poking up from the back, then the button part goes on. So I'm down on a solid surface where I can hammer safely, just on a little stool. And I've got this little gadget too. This didn't come in my 25-cent kit, but I had it from other ones. I put that nail part in the small part here. Then the button part goes onto the nail. This closes up around it. And then I can hammer on that. A few little whacks of the hammer, and then it's on there really solid. So those are all on. I'm going to iron off those extra dots, and then I'm going to put it on and show you. I'm so excited. I wanted to show you right after I got the buttons done, but then I had to wait 2 hours because I had to throw it in the washing machine to fray up and just look so adorable. So now it is even cuter. I just love my new Skort. I'm so excited to wear this. And I'm heading out now to meet my husband for lunch. So I wonder if I can get him to sing that Taylor Swift song with me. No, that's never gonna happen. But I hope you like the end result. I'm thrilled with it. I'm so excited to have this Skort in my wardrobe. And I'm so happy that you were here along with me for the whole process. Thank you so much. And until next time on Catherine Sews, you take care.